Hey, YouTube. I've apparently misfired. I don't know. Say hi to YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
You're welcome.
Forgot it was Thursday the other night.
It's Tuesday.
I know, but that's why I said the other night.
Oh, the other night. Okay. Every day feels like Monday. It's been a year of Mondays.
All Monday, all the time.
Yeah, all Mondays all the way down.
So my plan for today is working into some texture.
Hair texture, face texture, all texture.
Yes.
Used on weekend is a special command.
I mean,
because people had to wait over the whole weekend for their prescriptions.
Yeah, you're gonna have a higher volume, and nobody ever does anything in advance.
Why would people do that? Hi, everyone.
Everything is an emergency.
Yeah, I bet.
Everything's an emergency all the time.
Ooh, Paige, did you hear that Mystery Science Theater is back, baby, back. I'm excited. Yes. They just launched a Kickstarter, they launched it yesterday.
So back is a strong term.
No. They launched the Kickstarter, and the goal was only $20,000, and I think it was more of a symbolic thing. Like, they're making it either way. But it's already up to, over $1 million.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
But yeah, it's Mike and the robots, and Pearl Forrester, and Bobo, and Brain Guy, and everybody. And yes, I already backed it. Duh.
So is it on PS5? What's up with the demo? And also, was not DQ7
Dairy Queen?
Yes, Dairy Queen 7. Didn't that come out on the GameCube?
Okay, I'm still talking about Mystery Science. Bye.
Yeah, okay. It just seems weird to have a demo for a game that's been out for all of this some time. So which was the one that came out on the GameCube? I remember that being a fairly big release because it was the first on a Nintendo platform in quite some time for Dragon Quest. I thought that was 7. Maybe it was 4. Like a graphic re-update and everything. I mean, everybody knows handhelds don't count. So I do have to give some thought and some possible experimentation to this. So here is the conundrum. When this is rendered in porcelain, porcelain has a tendency to be exceedingly smooth, and things look weird with no texture. There is some visible texture on the face, but a lot of it is obscured by the heavy makeup. So I don't want to go too crazy on the texture the way I would normally do for like a witchy zombie type thing. But there should be some. So there's going to be a little bit of it does. I mean, the paint will do a ton on this guy. But like the skin on the forehead and other smooth parts of the face is, as far as I can tell from the images, practically without any kind of texture at all. But I think once that gets cast up in the porcelain, that's not going to be a good look. So I do want to get some kind of texture going, but it does have to be pretty gentle, because I'm not making a zombie. Yeah, I think it still has to be a little bit exaggerated. In order for the glaze to sit right. Yep, this is a hairbrush cleaner. I got a package of them from Temu. When I get a new tool, if it's not expensive, I like to get a few of them. so that I can go through and edit them without worrying about that, that's my only one and I don't want to mess it up. So right now I'm just putting some really gentle little light. I was not aware of these things either until I forget who it was that I saw using one. There's the cat brush tools. Those are pretty standard. I've mounted mine to a handle just to make it a little easier to use. But they make a lovely texture too, but it's a little bit more, tends to be a little more aggressive. No, it wasn't somebody from Butcher Shop. I'd seen one. I think I ended up seeing one probably 6 or 8 months before I actually got around to ordering one. Who was that? It was one of the people that I follow on Instagram, I believe. Yeah, it may have been let's see who. Grey House Studios. May have been them. They do some really lovely, subtle, dried zombie kind of looks. So I'm just trying to add a little bit of a light hatching texture. This is one of my brass brushes, just to kind of knock some of the texture back a little. Have fun with the kitty dinners. I feel like that's too sharp a texture. Can you see the texture? Like, I'm mostly working the forehead.
Not really.
Not really.
Do you want me to zoom in?
I mean, if we really can't see anything,
Let me
we have to.
humor. Stop. Well, I went to focus right when your hand started wiping things out. Okay. Texture.
See that now?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm looking at it in a very, very small
Oh yeah.
window.
This is the texture. Yo. Did you want to take a peek at what it looks like over here?
No.
Okay.
I can see what it looks like right here in front of my face.
No, but you're trying to see how it communicates with people. The children watching at home.
Yes.
Right, children watching at home? Slightly judgmental things.
So, standard issue cat stuff. Okay, I think I like that. Now I'll just have to go back in and correct the texture on the hair as well. Oh. So there's some pretty good pore texture on the cheeks and the tip of the nose. It gets more subtle further down the cheeks. It's very fine around the upper lip. Let's see. I need a nice. There we are. So I am gonna definitely increase some of the texture around the eyes. I need a fine plastic. This plastic bag. I really do like this plastic trick. It works exceedingly well on monster clay. Would you kindly? I think I need a finer plastic than this. There is a there's a red frame kind of behind. No.
Strikes your fancy.
No. See that red picture frame right underneath it? There's a saran wrap. Thank you. I mostly use this for my mold making, but every once in a while you want a really fine plastic to just very gently smooth out your tool marks. So the plastic just softens the mark that you're making. But the thicker the plastic, the more pronounced the softening effect. So it does sometimes require messing around with some different weights of plastic. The cling film stuff is pretty good because it's so thin that you can, it's so thin and it sticks to itself a little. So it works nice to use it doubled up. And you can fold it over as many times as needed. I do find zipper bag type, and one of my favorites is the shrink film plastic from packaging. It's a pretty heavy duty, like they use it for cases of soda here in Canada quite often. You get it in the States too, but
you guys have cubes more often.
yeah, it usually more commonly comes in cardboard boxes in the States, but occasionally on the really big cases or yeah, like the store brands. Your Dr. Fizzy, Dr. Perky and the like.
Dr. Perky, he's a real doctor.
So I'm just laying down a really fine pour texture. Well, that's important. Excuse me. She's forgotten her proper cat dignity. The tiny house panther. Panther. I know one thing that I always struggle with when I'm doing texturing is really irregular patterns. I don't know, I have a tendency to like make things too regular. So to fix that, I tend to like to make multiple lighter passes. So I'll put things like pores, I'll make them slightly less dense than I would actually want them. And then kind of go back and go over the space again. Because that kind of helps naturally fix any problem with the spacing being too regular. Another thing that is I guess, a special, something that I pay special mind to is making sure to vary my textures across the face. Put the appropriate texture where it belongs. I've seen a few artists that have a tendency to have kind of a go-to texture that they like, and they just blanket all the skin with it. If it's a stylistic choice, then it's sort of it's more acceptable, you know, if you're making that as you're doing that as a decision. But if it's just the idea that this mask needs texture on it, and this is the way that I do skin texture, find that extremely off-putting, because the amount of like pores or wrinkles and the direction of the wrinkles, they change across your face. Most people have very fine pores on like the forehead. The bridge of the nose tends to have, you know, there are still pores, but they're much less visible than they are on the tip of the nose. They tend to be most pronounced on the cheeks, and sometimes the chin. Also, occasionally you'll have somebody who has the very, very thick facial hair, but when they're clean shaven, they have super visible pores. all along the beard area. That's also a good thing to exaggerate if you're going for like a, you know, cartoonish kind of Ren and Stimpy tough guy kind of look. Just really porous, stubbly beard texture. And you can still use that kind of thing when you're not going for like a full-on caricatured kind of look. You just have to be a little more subtle with it. But even the texture on a face can kind of inform the character that you're giving. It's also a nice subtle tool for some design considerations. If you wanted to draw extra attention to a certain area, you could put more or less texture in those areas. You might, for example, if you're doing a werewolfy type character, pay extra attention to the little lines, those little fine wrinkles on the lips. Because it's going to give that sense of like slightly animal skin. Just going to come in here. I've got 4 layers of this stuff now, but I'm using these super fine little wires to make very, very, very fine soft pore textures. Spread this out further. I almost always end up using a single prong kind of poking tool for some pores, but whenever I can, I like to use something that'll make multiple marks, because it does speed up the process, but also it helps with that issue of regularity. You can see in this photo that he has some really coarse textured larger pores in and around the kind of the most prominent part of the cheek. I've got a pretty fine ball stylus. I also have to keep in mind that my material, because I'm working with porcelain, there's quite an amount of shrinkage. So I kind of have to go just a little overboard. So that it will look right once that clay has shrunk. Put a couple of these really big. Yeah, I want to give the face good variety in the texture. But I'm also looking at my reference. Using the larger ball stylus with way less pressure makes kind of that just gently uneven skin texture. Can't see any texture at all on the nose in this photograph. And I suspect that's actually because of movement or just the focus being slightly softer. I actually think it's probably movement, because you can kind of see some texture happening in the upper lip, but it looks like it's way smoother. But I think that's because it's just that texture is blurred a little, and it's pretty clear from the expression that it's a mid speaking face. One of the reasons why it'd be great to have, the more photos you have, and the better the quality of the photos you have, the better it always is. Even if you think you're not going to use that angle or whatever. Oh, hello, Travis. In a minute. How's things with you?
Hello.
Nice cat pumpkin. Pain has new kitties.
Mhm.
How's the travel? Out your way, Travis? Not been too bad here, really. A couple of days it was a little iffy, but
I haven't really been watching, so I don't know whether you're on camera now. I just haven't really been paying attention to my ear.
what?
I said I haven't really been watching, so I'm only assuming that you've been on camera properly.
Oh, the parts that I'm sculpting on
Yeah.
are still on screen? Yeah.
I think you're.
Yeah, I am gonna end up doing the chin in a bit, so we'll have to pull out for that. But
Okay. Well, if you give me heads up, then I can look at the camera. Like what, foot?
Yeah. Yeah, about a foot, maybe 14 inches, kind of cumulatively over the whole time. It's really hard to tell here, just because of the blowing. We're in a high wind area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a foot's not really too bad for you guys for this time of year. Ooh. Working on plumbing in that kind of cold is no fun.
Pardon me, here.
Is it one of the things where people leave it open by mistake, or they're propping stuff open so they can get back in? Ah. one of those my convenience is more important than your property kind of deals. Did you ever watch the hilarious House of Frightenstein, Travis? I had not even heard of it before Mitch mentioned this project to me. It's kind of a neat show. Surprisingly good special effects given the time and just the kind of comedy nature of the show. Well, and just being a TV show. I'm going to start working my way down the face a little bit. Just going to start working my way down the face.
So do you want to zoom out or just move it down?
I mean, if you guys really can't see anything.
I think it's interesting to have a little more detail than usual.
Then you might as well stay zoomed
Make
in.
things up a bit. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Is the bottom of the chin gonna be in there?
Yeah.
Yes. That's where a lot of stuff is gonna happen. Yeah, when it's zoomed in, it's definitely more visible.
Yeah. See all those delicious pores.
Yeah, I'm guessing the chin is a little bit the same as the nose, where it's a little bit blurry in the image, but there's some, like, I can see some things that I believe to be pores. This texturing is very much just a case of make the texture, soften the texture, make the texture. You just go back and forth until the layers are just right. Oops. That's not good. Get a little more refinement in on the teeth while I'm working on, well, we're zoomed in. It really doesn't want to stay put. When the sculpts get heavier like this, hard to balance them on the turntable. Add a little bit of extra width to this front incisor. Won't be any no fake stand-in teeth on this guy. Did you figure out how the scarecrow got back on the website?
No, I don't know.
I do have two that I'm getting ready to paint this week. Thank you.
I'm not sure what happened. I was going through some inventory stuff.
Well,
I don't know.
Wasn't anything to do with trying to de-Googlify or no. That's been her big project.
Yeah, backing up and stuff.
So we're moving all of the photos away from Google.
Never got any notifications for what? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I was using Payne's phone because it needs the Google Voice needs a US account, so I just gave her a heads up in case me trying to move stuff caused a bunch of text messages or anything. Yeah, partially due to the Google AI stuff, partially due to just the world being on fire.
Yeah. Trying to divest as much as possible from Nazi simps.
Well, yes, especially Nazi simps, but also just trying to move stuff into Canada where possible.
Which I personally don't
what?
care for. Moving stuff just because of nationality is less good.
Well, that's only part of it.
Because of behavior is fine.
Yes. Okay, well,
buttholes are buttholes no matter where they
certain
live.
countries' behavior
Where they happen
right
to
now.
live. But yes. Google does have a
paying for things that I don't need to be paying for.
Well, that too. But yes, Google in particular has a fascist nut gargling addiction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just more of a. I've always been a class is more telling than nationality.
Well, yes,
kind of person.
100% agree with that. More telling, but that doesn't mean the other factor is a non-issue.
No. And when you're running a business, you have to worry about, like, is it gonna just cease to be available?
Yeah.
Because of executive fiat.
Yes.
But yes, I will be working on. I've got 2 scarecrows that are bisqued and ready for paint. And I'm hoping to get to this weekend. And I will be sending pictures as soon as I get them out of the kiln. So that if they suit you, they don't even go near the website.
Well, yeah, like I don't think that's actually related to what happened.
No, it may not be related to what happened, but that was the thing you were working on.
Yeah.
No, I figure you'll want to see them in person anyway, so like when we do shows, I'll be sure to have a few, but if they look like the kind of thing you might be into, we're just not going to put them on the website. They just won't exist until after you see them in person and decide whether or not you want them. It really seems like we have the worst luck with our favorite customers. Like, I've had so many shipments go out, no problem at all. And then there's a guy that we ship to, and he's really, he's really good. He knows what he wants. He asks for interesting things. He's my Joker guy. He's got like a big Joker collection. So whenever I do like a Joker paint job on something, I'll send it to him. But he's also, he's a teacher out there doing the responsible things, and decidedly not the fascist friendly kind of guy. And we had a shipment that we sent to him come back because there was an error on the paperwork. I've had glaze problems that like were delayed by a few days, so they didn't show up until after they would already been shipped. You know, so it's like, yeah, we always fix it, but you know. Oh, I started doing them uh before he bought anything. He hasn't bought an exorbitant amount of things. It's just I send him stuff when I do Joker paints. It's a really good it's a good recognizable like paint, the Joker. It works nicely on some of my designs. But I did a couple of custom ones for him. I did a one of our like obviously the one Frankenstein with the facial scar makes a really good Joker. But I even did when we were doing the Vincent Price Shrunken Heads, I did one in the Sid Caesar from the old Batman TV show Joker with like the face paint right over the beard and mustache, or right over the mustache. Which, you know, that was fun to do. I've done a couple of nice little custom pieces that he's requested. He had me do a couple of really nice when I was doing the skull, the ritual skull mugs with one of them had the Leviathan cross on it, and the Luciferian symbol that I did in kind of like a glowing, kind of hot lava sort of deal. He's got a scarecrow mug. He's one of the customers that likes to use his stuff, so I made him one with a coffee mug handle, and it was painted to look like the Sandman from Saruman Hand one was somebody else, but that was a good piece. Yeah, we've had such crappy luck with screwing things up with our very favoriteest customers. And you know, you try not to really have favorites, but some people are just cooler.
You love all your children the same.
Yeah, you love all your children the same, all that. But you know, nobody does that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I also think I can do a better job on those milky white eyes. Could have had more depth. I'm gonna push that a little bit more. Yeah, it is.
I think I know.
You think you know what happened?
Yeah, because somebody was looking for, I want to say specifically mini Franks, and there was only like one or two on the site, but I knew we had a bunch more.
Oh.
So I went in and I realized there was a discrepancy between what was on the site and what was on Square. So I think what I did is I went through and activated a bunch of stuff again.
You forgot that was not that was an on-purpose discrepancy?
I think so.
I know another problem that we've had is with the Square storefront thing. When you move stuff, it like removes the category.
Oh yeah, it hasn't done that for a while.
Hasn't done that for a while. They fixed that problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tech. There's always some nonsense.
Yeah. No, because when we first started, you couldn't have subcategories either. It was like he had to have the main category, that was it. But now Square has subcategories.
Now Square has subcategories.
So they mostly do what they're supposed to now.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay for mostly.
Hey, you don't have to deal with it most of the time.
No, I don't. I leave it to tech mommy.
I'm business daddy, thank you.
Business daddy.
Yep. Don't like it.
Don't like it?
Don't like it.
Oh.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
Keep selling stuff that Travis has dibs on. It's gonna be tech mommy. It's gonna be tech mommy's fault.
No.
If you don't want to be tech mommy, you're gonna have to be. You're gonna have to be better. But yes, we do. We joke, but we do apologize. That was some bullshit. And we appreciate the flexibility.
Oh.
What did you do? Now what have you done? Tech mommy, what? She's over there making disturbed faces while playing with her computer. I don't trust it.
Nothing.
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 Nothing. Tra-la-la.
Nothing. Tra-la-la.
She's out here breaking shit again. Oh, you can't quite see the eyebrow.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Nothing. Everything's fine.
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Don't trust you.
That's fair. I wouldn't trust me either.
Mommy, what have you done?
Okay.
Do you think this is going to be the last stream for this guy? It's because I'm getting into the parts where it's going to be very awkward to work on it on stream. Got a little more tinkering to do, but I also need to submit this for approval.
I think you might need to might need to do something about the eyeballs being kind of crazy looking.
Well, I
can probably Photoshop that just to get rid of the irises so it doesn't.
Oh, I can get rid of the irises.
Okay.
I can just do that with
alcohol.
With alcohol. It won't do anything for the weird texture on the or the weird swirly.
The orange and the purple.
Orange and the purple either. No hot chocolate for you. So you stop messing stuff up.
I didn't mess something up.
You didn't? You just almost messed something up?
I almost messed something up, but I did. It's fine. Where?
Where is my little comb cleaner? There it is. So one of the really nice things about these comb cleaners is they have a little like knuckle bent into them. So you can actually use the like scratchy tip or that little knuckly part. So you get two different kinds of texture. Nope. So I'm gonna have to come up with what I want to sculpt next on the stream.
Hmm.
I have a few ideas.
What are your ideas?
Well, I would like to do a full-size Gillman creature, not like the movie Gillman, the old one, but a bit more like the littler, my smaller Gillman. But what I probably should do is the full-size, more horror Frankenstein character that I was requested to do probably going on 2 years ago now. I've been kind of considering some like fan casting options.
Like sand cast?
Fan casting, different actors make a Frankenstein. I also need to do a bride. And a fruit brood and many other things. Also thinking about doing a retool. It could happen. I wouldn't put anything past them. I have an alien character, and I haven't done an alien mug, but I have an alien over there that I kind of like, but I think that could use a retool. And I think that might be a fun project to do. I love a nice creature. I also want to do a lizard person.
Lizard wizard?
What?
Lizard wizard?
Not a lizard wizard.
No?
No, like a lizard person. Like the weird conspiracy theory lizard people. I also need a I need a good ghoul slash zombie kind of thing that I can do my weird paints on.
So a new tube neck.
A new tube neck slash overbite zombie. Need something to fill that void now that those molds are getting worn and need to be
Hedera.
Hedera? It's like a Godzilla. It's the one of the kaiju. A Godzilla. It's the one. Hedera is it's the plant one, right? Or is it the other weird, almost turtle lizard thing? I can't remember which one Hedera is. But
It's a waste.
yeah, okay. It's kind of weird, lumpy, planty looking. Was it supposed to be a smog monster? That would not have been what I would have conceptualized. I don't think for a smog monster. It's kind of got big eyes. And a bit of a like umibozu kind of outline. Kind of melty, I guess, yeah. I really like some of this texture down here. I don't know if I love it. It might be a bit much for need to be softened for the count here, but really lovely. Really nice on a kind of something slightly mummified. I could go to town with texture on here, yes. I like brushes for sculpting. They are a super handy tool for texturing. The fact that these were a set with just like different degrees of stiffness, and they're all pretty nice and decently stiff. But yeah, when I'm out, I'm always through the like cleaning and tool section looking for different kinds of brushes, different stiffnesses. I like that these are relatively stiff but they're still a pretty fine nylon. I have a couple that are good, but the nylon bristles are just too big around. Like they're too large a fiber, and they just don't work for most texturing. Every once in a while they're just super nice. I think it was one of them I got was a tile scrubber. I've also got and used several chunks of bristles from snow brushes, the car snow brushes. I broke in one of those with a broken handle that I saved the head off of, and I've used that to fabricate a couple of different brushes when I needed very specific shapes or stiffnesses. And they're good, but this one with the fine tip is better. Toothbrushes are good too. I like a toothbrush with the hairs cut down to about half the length. They tend to be a good stiffness. These little guys are good too. This is like a green, not like a real Scotch-Brite, but like a cheap one. Only problem with this is it has a tendency to shed little bits of fluff. But it is nice to have for the control when you want to make things when you really want to soften up fine lines. It does a good job softening stuff. And these are nice because they're dense enough. They build up just a little bit of friction when you kind of rub them over the surface gently, and they will kind of almost melt the clay a little bit. And then I've always got this guy. I use this one all the time too. It is an inexpensive but not the cheapest house painting brush. But I tightened it up by soaking the bottom half with super glue. And you could just cut these down, obviously trim the bristles back, but these slightly more expensive ones have a flagged tip, which is just the they basically take the brush, the nylon, and they just beat the hell out of it so that the ends kind of fray. It helps them hold paint better, makes them more like a natural bristle brush. But for just almost like polishing, they do a phenomenal job. And it gives you a much cleaner, like I'll be using this on the hair to give it that kind of shininess, but still retain that texture. You can see quite that far down. But yeah, you get a really special kind of texture out of it. I really like this brush. And denture cleaning brushes. Those are a great little tool. They're just another kind of slightly stiff nylon brush. They're a little thicker bristle and a little bit a little stiffer, so they do a good job of laying down a fine texture, as opposed to more of a kind of polishing. I'm gonna get some more of these so I can get one of the steel brush heads and strip out about half the bristles. Take out about half of these little tufts. Just yoink them out. Give a more aggressive texture with it, because I think that would be good for applying a fine texture. But I also kind of like this one, so I don't want to mess with it. The only one I've got handy, so I gotta get some more before I get more before I break them. Then I can start breaking stuff. Still on the fence about the fingertips, but I have a theory. I think that it's because it's quite cold down here in the studio this time of year. I think the clay is just a bit too stiff to really... You can't even see that because that's not on camera. I think the clay is a bit too stiff, but I think in the warmer weather, those will do a much more interesting job of blending. They kind of do, but I have found that for the early kind of application process, which is where I do the most damage, they don't, I don't know, I can't get used to having them on my finger. I'll have to try it more extensively. I want to save enough time. I want to try one thing before we bail. Can I have that bottle of alcohol? Make sure that there's time for this. Oh, that's the smaller brush. I want to put, before I put this guy away on you guys, I want to put the Count's makeup on. So what I'm trying to do is get a nice little patch of Sharpie marker ink built up on my glass palette here. And then wet it with alcohol so I can brush some pigment on it. Is that picking up okay? Can you see that pie? Yeah, kind of. A little more. A little more density.
Try and point it more if it can.
Do you want to actually zoom out a little bit too?
Do you want me to get like the whole head?
Yeah, get the whole head in there. But I really am just trying to get a little bit of pigment from the marker. Because there's a slight kind of softness. I need Now, of course, if I had alcohol inks handy, this would be a little bit faster, but get rid of the wacky irises too. And let's get those eyebrows in. See what we're really looking at here. So the eyebrows are significantly more dense, the makeup portion, than the makeup around the eyes. I think is kind of a cool little touch. Kind of interesting what you learn doing art projects around something. Like I wouldn't have noticed from watching the show necessarily the kind of subtleties in that makeup, the way it's applied. But you do get some like gentle. I can't tell if there's any color differentiation on the lip. I don't think there is. Yeah, looks a lot more like him with that makeup in place. that iris as going as I can get it. The eyes still look crazy with the purple and orange, but
Makeup ads.
the makeup does add. So yeah, I've still got a lot of finishing work to do, but I think we're certainly far enough along to get the idea. And I don't think we need to watch me fiddle with that. For the foreseeable future. Speaking of fiddling at things for the foreseeable future, I've been working on the Bat Child mug readiness. And just to indicate kind of nonsense that I get up to. I spent the better part of a day cleaning all of this up, making sure that the parts in the mouth were going to be able to be molded correctly. And just cleaning up textures in places that were hard to see. I got all of my lines figured out where I'm gonna run my mold lines. And then looking at it, realized that I had to change the ears. Because they sloped down initially. So if I want to be able to lift this side piece off, I needed to make sure that that could come off without hooking up on the ear. So now I have to go through and retexture that now that I've repaired it. I may have a little bit of issue with this shoulder too. There's a little bit of a hollow back there that might catch just a little. Yep, we are almost out of time. But yeah, this is the kind of nonsense. That's why it takes so long to get a mug out. Gotta finish the whole sculpt up. So I like the way it looks. And then I gotta go over and fix it. I still need to put the pouring cup on the top of this guy. So that's gonna need to come up. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I think he's gonna look cool in mug form. And I'll have some fun painting that too. this guy has look. Last little look in. See what needs. What needs a little more attention. The important part is I think it does look. He looks very like the character. Yeah, I do still think I'm going to want to do more. I'm going to want to leave this texture in the clothes a little bit more sculpted. Because I think that's kind of a cool... I think that's kind of a cool look to have it. So I may touch up some of the upper surfaces and leave some of the lower surfaces a little. Get a bit of a Baroque statuary kind of thing. Fix his ears too. Yeah, I think it's a close enough to time. It's a good place to call it a night for this guy. I don't see anything that's really chapping my ass. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back on Thursday with something else to work on. Probably. Unless I find something that chaps my ass.
Okay. Should I? We have 2 minutes left to stop.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
We can cut it 2 minutes early.
We will see you guys Thursday.
We might do it for I think it's probably gonna be a Frightenstein monster.